Welcome to High Jump in the Back Garden. I'm Fuzz Caan and this is Spring 2020. A very different spring, wouldn't you agree? We're going to start by looking at what is high jump. Then we're going to move on to some drills for high jump. Then we're going to go to circle drills, drills on a curve if you've got a bigger back garden. Here's a frame-by-frame picture of Robbie Grabarts jumping 229 in the qualification of the London 2012 Olympics. Quite a beautiful photograph, I think. Now, what is high jump? It's a run-up. For most, it's a straight line followed by a curve with an explosive gymnastic element at the end of that run-up. A dictionary definition is an athletic event in which competitors jump over a bar that is raised until only one competitor can jump over it without dislodging it. Let's look at high jump in more detail. The curve has strong forces that can be harnessed. The entrance to that curve determines the way you exit it. A good curve gives you more energy for a good arch. A good arch has gymnastic elements. Your best jumps need to be your last jumps. You compete against yourself over a bar, and most of the time you end in failure. But don't let that stop you taking it up. Now, here's my mate. He's got a lovely stick here. He loves that stick. And he's going to demonstrate angles and strength. He's saying, look, angles and strength. That's what he's saying. So he throws it into the floor and it bounces up over the bar, forming an arch. I always say to my athletes, be the stick. And I'll tell you why be the stick. Because the stick is completely stiff. And we want that stiffness. Bam! Right there. And there's beautiful rotation. That's what he says, beautiful rotation. I'm not sure it says that. I'm just making it up. And it goes up over the bar. It really is quite beautiful. So let's put in a friend of mine, shall we? Let's put in, I don't know, Stefan Holm, for example. So Stefan Holm comes running in, and in Swedish he says, I'm going to be the stick. And he's the stick. He forms that position, and he follows the energy that nature creates. Laws of nature cannot be broken. Ladies and gentlemen, please be the stick. %90 of high jump is running. In big competitions, you have between 6 and 10 massive power events. The athlete has to be strong from head to toe. They've got to be able to judge distance. They've got to know where they are in space. It's very technically precise, and the bar is only 3 centimeters wide. So it's very important to understand where you are in space, because the object, of course, is not to hit the bar off. This is a video of Stefan Holm. It's a slow motion video, and we can see, zooming in here, the forces going through his knee and his foot. You can see how his muscles contract really instantaneously. Now, obviously, Stefan has spent tens of years, probably nearly 20 years, creating the capacity to do what he's doing. Now, when we're working with children, of course, we're not going to have this. But this is where you need to start really objectively to know where you want to finish. It is a lot of force that goes through the body, and what we want to do is be very, very well prepared. So you have a bigger shot of Stefan coming in, and remember the stick, he forms the position of that stick. That's a stiff position, core all the way through his body, the force being transferred from the floor all the way through his hip and his knee into his back, gives him the energy for an arch. Really, really quite beautiful. Now we're going to look at high jump drills for kids. We're going to start with skipping. We're going to go left and right, or right and left, depending on what foot you take off with. A little exercise, a 3-2-1, or a left, right, left, or a right, left, right. Circle runs, and then circle skips. Now my kids are 6 and 8, and they've never ever done these exercises before, and this is the first attempt you'll see. Here we see a very basic skip. Left, right, left. Next up is a little 2-1. Which is a left, right, left, right, left, right. Obviously, if you jump on the other leg, go right, left, right, left, right, left. Now we see the same drill in slow motion. Take it on the left leg, landing on the right, back onto the left leg again, driving the right knee up, and then landing on the right and driving onto the left leg. I get the kids to go up one way, and then coming back the other way, they jump on the other leg because we want balance between both legs. 3, 2, 1. Or left, right, left. Obviously, on the other leg, it will be right, left, right. This is a drill, left, right, left, or 3, 2, 1. A bit more physicality, child's a bit older. Now the same drill in slow motion. So we have the takeoff and the inside knee drives up. We've got long extension. Athlete lands on the same foot, steps, and then the drill starts. It's 3 or left, 2 or right, and 1 at takeoff. Notice his brother, how excited he is in the background. Lovely. This little drill is in a circle. Circle's about 6 meters, half a meter of jogging, and then you sprint for a whole lap. And we see if the athlete from behind can catch the one in front. Grown-ups can play this as well. Oh, didn't quite catch him. So, circle skips, just skipping up and down. We go in both directions. It's great for stability, great for teaching everyone to run round a curve. And we have another version of it. So a 6-year-old can even get good at this. Just good for coordination and just good fun. So that was high jump drills for kids in the back garden. Skipping, left rights or right lefts, 3-2-1s or left right lefts, circle runs and circle skips. Now we're going to look at high jump, a bit more advanced. This is the circle drills. This is straight leg into a medium knee, 2-1s, 3-2-1s, 5-4, 3-2-1s, and left right lefts or right left rights. So we start with the stiff leg, into a medium knee, and then back into a stiff leg, a bit more extension, back into a medium knee, then back into an extension stiff leg, really opening up, pushing the hip through, pushing the hip all the way around. Quite a hard drill that. We have 2 athletes here performing 2-1s, so it's a right left, and we see the second athlete, it's a pull push, it's a penultimate takeoff drill. Here we have an athlete performing a 3-2-1s. They've landed, they've stepped, and now the drill starts. This athlete's coming from the left-hand side, so it's left, right, left, drives the hip through, pushes the knee up, lands on the same foot they took off on. Got to be very, very stable here. Steps, and then it's back to a 3 or a left, right, left, creating big extension. Build that even further. We have 2 athletes performing a 5-4, 3-2-1. So the athlete in the front here, he's just taken off. He lands on his left foot, he steps, and then if you watch the man on the right, it's a 5, and it comes into a 4, into a 3, into a 2. The athlete's performing a double arm shift, and into a 1. Now we see the athlete in the front has just landed their second one. They're doing 3 times around the curve. They're back into a 5, into a 4, into a 3, into a 2. Look at the torque that goes on in the body and the ankles. We're building huge potential here into a big knee drive. Great for stability, great for coordination. This is a very complicated drill, left, left, right, left, or hop penultimate takeoff. So we're focusing on this athlete. He's taking a step and he's going to hop on his left, then back onto his, obviously hopping onto his left, and his penultimate onto his right, and he's going to drive the double arm shift and drive the knee through back onto his left with the takeoff. It's a really good drill for building coordination. It's very complicated to do. They're making it look very easy, and we're seeing it in slow motion so it looks simpler, but it is actually quite complicated and takes an enormous amount of stability, and the essence of this is to really push the hip through and to develop coordination. There were some more senior athletes performing those drills in a circle, advanced in fact, which is straight leg into a medium knee, 2-1s, 3-2-1s, 5-4, 3-2-1s, and left, left, right, left, or right, right, left, right, depending on which way you go around the curve. Once you've developed stability and strength around a circle, you take it into a curve, and we're looking at straight line into a curve. We start with ankle rolls into a run, heel pick up into a run, delicate straight legs both sides, straight legs penultimate, straight leg penultimate both sides, 2-1s, 3-2-1s, and 3-2-1s on a curve both sides. The athletes here will make it look very simple, but it is, I promise you, much more complicated than it looks. It's taken years of practice to get to this point. Now this athlete is taking it from an ankle roll into a curve, so they're extending around the curve. We practice this on both sides. What we're really looking at is the inside foot to be nice and solid and driving the outside leg from the hip. So the inside foot, which in this case is the left, to be nice and solid and drive the right knee across the body. And we practice it all the way around. We call this kind of a U-bend, and it's great for building strength and stability. Next, the athlete will take this into a heel pickup, and that has a little bit more energy, a bit more an up-down feeling, and it will create a bit more energy around the curve. Again, keep focusing on that left foot nice and flat, toes pointed forwards, elbows in nice and tight, good lean, and head position nice and neutral. Here's the athlete taking that straight leg, nice and delicate, stiff around the curve, so there's no bend in the left-hand side. Much harder than it looks. Just to confuse you, we're going to look at both sides. Again, we're looking at the athlete really holding on to that stiff leg position on the inside foot. The athlete actually comes from the right-hand side, as in takes off on the left leg, and you can see that their left side is a bit stiffer than their right side. But it's great practice going on both sides. Here we see an athlete start with a stiff leg, and then they're going to use their right side, their penultimate, to pull, pull, push. Great drill. Again, we add layers of complexity. So we want the athletes to be able to perform these on both sides. So we have a stiff leg on their inside and a penultimate on their outside, and they can perform it for the left and the right. It creates balance within the body. So we have a bit more energy on a 2-1 drill, so it's a pull push around that curve. Another example of the same drill, pull push, pull push, pull push. This is the 3-2-1 drill, so it's 3-2-1, 3-2-1, 3-2-1. You can see just how high the athlete's got. Again, adding layers of complexity. We want those 3-2-1 drills to be performed on both sides. Here the athlete can actually do a double arm shift, keeps their body position away from the bar, and they land, absorbs the energy, then drives across on that final 3, 2, 1. There you have high jump drills on a curve, much more advanced, with great stability from the athletes. It was an ankle roll, a heel pickup, a delicate straight leg, and we got into more complicated stuff towards the end. And that complexity is very important. Once you achieve that, you can then go back to doing your event without any thought. You can just let your body do the movement. Because remember, we train movements, we don't train muscles. We train movements, not muscles. So why do we do drills? Well, in my opinion, humbly may I say, that it improves instinctive movement through detailed repetition. It develops core if done properly. It's an excellent base for plyometrics, and it develops power from a strong position, and that position is very, very close to the actual event. Here's something to think about. Permanence. Practice does not make perfect. Practice makes permanent. So perfect practice makes perfect permanently. So the goal is to focus on really high quality movement. I hope you've enjoyed High Jump in the Back Garden. April 2020. What a strange April it was. So we started with the high jump drills for kids. We moved on to circle drills and then drills on a curve. I hope you can find some use for these. This is an image of Robbie Grabarts in the qualification of the London 2012 Olympics. Maybe one or two of you might be inspired to hopefully shoot for that extraordinary thing called the Olympic Games. I wish you all the luck. Please keep in touch. I'm Fuzz Caan. The next slide is a picture of Robbie and I just after he got his medal. Loads of love to you all. Stay safe.